Hi, I'm Eric Dewey from the Socially Awkward Studios, Science and Beer, and Her Majesty's Secret Podcast, and you're listening to another proud presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. Check out more shows at foureyedradio.com.
Hey listeners, Eric here, also known as Trekkie B47, from the Starfleet Escape Podcast and the Ranger Command Power Hour. The more phenomenal episode you're about to listen to is brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Another week of Appropriately Inappropriate. Thank y'all for listening. Hope you guys have enjoyed your week, and I hope that we're going to start you off for another good week. Quick, right off the bat, follow the show on Facebook, facebook.com/appinpod. That's APPINPOD. Follow me on Twitter, @Kevin_Elliott. I still don't have @KevinElliott. Fuck you, guy in Canada that won't give me your name.
We're gonna find him. We'll find him.
Show's coming up. I got the Toyota Center in Prescott on October 24th, and just follow me on Twitter. The more I find out about it, I throw you tickets, whatever we got. I just don't know a ton about it yet. But that date's secured, and then look out for November 1st. I'm putting on a show that we're locking down a place for. It's a pretty cool, creative, different show. So, can't tell you much more about that, but I will probably next week. Nancy, anything?
Yes. Just, it's me, Nancy. I don't Twitter because someone stole my Twitter. It's probably that fucker in Canada.
Yeah, dude. @KevinElliott.
Yep.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's
Guy's just
he's
stealing all our
Twitter.
stuff.
So just follow me through our Facebook page and my Facebook.
All
Nancy.
right. Cool.
Yeah. Probably
This
the only
week-
Nancy on Facebook that's not 70.
Yeah, 1,000 years old.
You'll know it's me.
The only living
Yeah,
Nancy.
I'm only Nancy on Facebook.
So this week our guest is a buddy of mine from L.A. I've been trying forever to get him on. Every time you come in town, now it's only been like a couple times, but Brant Tobler, welcome to the show.
I'm here. It is good to be here. Thank you guys for having me. It is my pleasure.
Dude, what a fun show last night.
Great. We had a lot of fun.
Brant, yeah, so this will come out. You're already gone. But House of Comedy, working out there with Andy Kozel and Brent Morin.
Yeah.
Great show.
Beautiful showroom. Wonderful turkey burger. Cold beers.
Do you
It
have
was
the
good.
grilled cheese?
No, but is it
Try
good?
that shit tonight.
I'll do it
Try
tonight.
It's a little different, but it's not bad.
I got the worst burp from turkey burger last night.
Oh.
It's a good thing I wasn't making out with any hot. I'm trying to find a Scottsdale sugar mama if you're out there. I don't know if that's your demographic,
What?
guys.
Maybe last night you were in the right place.
That's what I'm hoping. I just need to address it on stage. So.
Yeah.
That one guy that was on stage last night was so funny. And he's like talking to this lady and he asked if she brought her friend. And she's like, no, that's my son or something. Like, did you catch
Oh, I
that?
didn't see that. Was
up
Brent
there.
doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, he's like, you two together? Like,
together,
what's
yeah.
going on? She's like, that's my son. It's like,
She
oh, well,
wasn't
hey,
nice about
I didn't
it.
fucking know.
She didn't laugh. I thought it was great.
So, man, how you liking the heat still in Arizona, right?
It's all right. I used to live here, so I'm kind of used to it. But I don't mind the heat, the cold. I hate the cold, so I can do this. I just stay inside anyway all day and chill. I swam a little yesterday, so it's not that bad.
LA's kind of hot right now,
Yeah,
too,
it's
though.
hot as shit there.
Man. How long have you been in LA for?
2.5 years.
Oh, really? Shit. So are you used to it? Like, I could never live there again.
Oh, I love it. It's like a new thing. I hated Vegas so much, so it's like a new hot girl. But then I'm not there that much, so it's very new to me. But I live right in the middle of Hollywood, and I just love it. It's the best. You
it
couldn't
is
live
fun.
there again?
I don't think so, man. It's just too busy.
Yeah.
Like, if you forget something at the grocery store, it's a pain in the ass to have to go back.
Well, where I live, everything around me. I live right by 3 comedy clubs, Chipotle, Chick-fil-A,
Done. Forget it.
Yeah.
Ralph's.
everything.
I mean, I'm
You're good,
good.
man.
I don't need it. I hike Runyon every day. It's perfect.
All right,
so.
well, hey, look, when I move out there, give me your spot. When you move out.
January. If you want to, anyone needs to move in January.
All right, done. Me and my son, we're moving right in there.
Sounds like you had the wild night last night.
I did. I met up with Kevin. You may have been there. I don't even know. I'm too old to be staying up till 3 a.m. And I had this guy he trains dogs. So he came early this morning to train the dog. And it was just hot. You know, like when you're hungover and you just don't want to be in the heat. So this guy's cool. His name's actually Nate Dogg, the trainer. Nate Dogg,
I love it.
Yeah. NateDoggTraining.com. He's great, though. He trains service dogs. Like, he's legit. So he brings 3 pit bulls. I'm scared of dogs, kind of, especially pit bulls. He brings 3 pit bulls to socialize my dog with that he's trained all these dogs. None of them are on a leash. We're just walking the neighborhood with 3 pit bulls just following this guy. He was amazing. All my neighbors are flipping out.
Yeah.
God, not on a
So
leash.
he brought 3 pit bulls
Of his own, yeah.
to train a German Shepherd. Mm-hmm. Fuck, man.
All ladies, too. And my dog was just like,
That's
"Ooh,
that dog
hello,
whisperer
ladies."
stuff, right? Doesn't he
Yeah,
do that?
Yeah.
This guy's awesome. He's, the money, I'm thinking it was that or new furniture because my dog chewed up my furniture. So I was like, I'll get him trained first. And then maybe work into new furniture. Baby steps.
All right.
He's a good dog, though. We
My
like
dog
him.
ran away this week.
Really?
Yeah, the little one.
Get Nate Dogg on it.
Well, we found her. She's back at home now.
Oh, yeah. That's a shame.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I
how
don't
much
like,
you care
I don't
for
like that
one.
dog.
Oh, you hate her?
I have 2 dogs, and one of them I really just don't care for. So when she ran away, I was like, fucking awesome. Now I can get a new cool dog. And then the next night, she's back. I'm like, God damn, dog. This sucks. She's old, but I think she's going to live forever.
Oh, they do. The ones you don't want to live forever.
She's 12, but like she sleeps, dude, probably 22 hours a day. And
She sounds good.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
'cause
stuffed
the 2
animal.
hours she's awake. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not
Because
fun.
she's a Chihuahua, right?
She's like a Papillon Chihuahua mix
Oh,
of
yeah.
bullshit. She
Wait,
sucks.
how did you end up with her?
My ex-wife.
Why didn't you give her to your ex-wife?
So we did that originally, but my other dog is a Shar-Pei, and so we were splitting, like, you can take the little dog. But then the first night that she was gone, my Shar-Pei was devastated.
Yeah.
She's like, fuck, I'm not giving up the Shar-Pei.
Yeah.
Who was more sad, you or your dog?
When the dog came back, I was more sad. Man, what about you? Pets, dogs?
No, where I'm staying with my cousin. He has 3 pit bulls,
Are those the
and they're
pit bulls?
monsters.
No,
Hold
these
on, is
ones
your
were-
cousin Nate dog?
I wish.
Dog.
I wish. It's a Kato dog. But no, we had my roommate had a little mutt dog that he rescued in L.A., which I hated because she was so annoying. And then sometimes me and my other roommate we'd take her hiking, and we just looked like 2 gay guys hiking through West Hollywood with
Gotta
us.
put her
It
in
was
like a little backpack or
yeah,
something.
no, I said, and then she wouldn't listen to me, so I was like, we got to get rid of this dog. So my roommate Brian took her to Seattle, so no dogs, which is perfect.
Oh,
That
yeah,
is-
Brian, he moved up there, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a job
For good?
doing radio. Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe he'll come back, but he's doing good on radio.
Yeah.
So, but I don't miss that dog.
The animals hold you back. You have to be in a place. Like, even last night, we were out partying, and we're like, fuck, we got to make it home. We've got the dog at home. We left our old dog at home. She's a Mastiff. She's almost like 200 pounds. Like, she's so old, but we felt so bad, like, leaving her. But no one was going home last night. Moscow Mule is my new drink. I've been drinking for so many
What
years,
is
and
that?
I
You
just
know what it
found
is?
this.
Love Moscow Mule.
It's like-
so good.
It's the coldest thing you've ever drank. It's so good.
What's in it?
Vodka, ginger beer, and lime.
And it comes in a special
In
cup at
copper
most
cups,
places,
yeah.
a copper cup, which
hold your
sucks.
license,
I was just
so-
going to say they hold your ID, but
so
then
you
you
don't
drink a
steal
bunch
the
of them, you
cup.
get wasted,
And you forget.
and then you got to come back and get your ID the next
Because they
day.
don't want you to take the cup?
Yeah.
I told the guy, I was like, I'll just sell the cup and buy a new ID. He's like, you're so stupid.
Yeah, they're good. I can drink a lot
That's
of
what I
those.
was
That's how
all
you
hooked up
got
on last night. It was great.
Brian, what's your preferred drink?
beer, man.
Yeah.
I used to do. I'm getting too old. I just turned 37 last week, so
Happy birthday!
Thank you. I'm feeling it too. But no more shots, really. I try not to do shots. You know, a lot of times on the road, they'll just send shots on stage.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
I think they think I'm like a manly dude, so they send me like whiskey, and I can't
Yeah.
drink whiskey. I'm such a pussy.
Yeah,
So
dude.
I do Fireball shots. I can do Jaeger shots, and then I just try to stay to beer.
I feel like nobody agrees with me. I drink tequila like,
Oh,
just on
I
the rocks.
can't.
It's just it lasts a little
gross, right?
longer than a drink. It's not a shot. You just drink it.
I used to do like
I don't get fucked. I get fucked up, but I don't get so hungover off tequila.
I used to do chilled Patron. That was for like a year. That was our thing. We'd always do chilled Patron shots. And now, just the smell of tequila. Well, we did the Cabo Comedy Festival, and so it was all comedians, and you got free Corona and tequila. So I would never drink tequila. Then I got there, and then I drank so much tequila. Now I had to take a long break. 'Cause it was that awkward thing when you'd meet so it would be a bunch of comedians. So you'd know of them kind of, but you wouldn't know them. So there'd be that awkward thing like, hey, what's up? And you'd small talk for like a minute, and then you wouldn't know what else to say. So you'd just be like, hey, should we do a shot? They're like, yeah, dude. Next thing you know, there's 50 comedians skinny dipping in the ocean at 5 in the morning.
Yes, it does make your clothes come off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the drunkest night you've ever had?
Oh, man.
If you can remember, up to the point of remembering. Because I guess the drunkest night is you don't remember.
Yeah, I know. The very first time why I can't drink whiskey is, so I didn't drink when I was in high school, and then my senior year, like 2 days before I graduated, my friends were drinking this shitty Carstairs whiskey. And I'll never forget, we were sitting around my buddy's living room, and they were doing it, and I was like, oh, I can drink with you guys. So I was sitting there taking shots with them. I don't even know how many shots I took. And then I literally stood up, and I took like 3 steps and just fell right on my face. Shit. Had like a big carpet burn on my chin, and they took me into the bathroom. They're like, puke, you'll feel better. But I wasn't a drunk, so I didn't know what to do. So like an idiot, I sat on the toilet and puked into the bathtub. So then I had to fucking clean that up later. And then I went and I laid in his parents' bed, and I had to call my parents and be like, I'm staying at Matt's house. And then we planned a big party that night, and no one had ever seen me drunk, so everyone was so happy. And then, but I was so drunk that I was just laying there all fucked up, and then everyone from my high school came in and, oh, Brant's drunk, and was like all rowdy. But I was like, that first drunk, I was like, oh. So that's one I remember, but I've been drunk so many. I remember one time I was just so drunk I was laying in the bushes, and all of a sudden I heard my buddy was like, where's Tobler at? And they're like, he's over there past down the bushes, and he's like, let's get him. And I was like, and I just started puking. I was like, I got to puke before these guys get here, because I knew that's the only way to get them to leave me alone. But so many drunk Vegas nights. And
oh God!
Just everything was free, so I would just
want to go to Vegas anymore.
Yeah.
Just hurts thinking about it.
I would drink so much back then because it was just free, and back then when I was gambling, I could get hotel rooms for free whenever I wanted. So I would just. It's kind of like a creepy strategy that I probably shouldn't. Well, it doesn't matter now, but I would. So then I would, if I met a girl, I would just. I could go to the. So as when I was gambling, I used to have a job gambling where I bet a ton of money. So I always had $100,000 cash on me, and then I'd meet girls, and they would see all this money, and they'd be like, "Holy shit!" And then I would go, "Where do you want to go?" I'd take you out to dinner, and they go, "Okay." And I said, "Where do you want to eat?" And they're girls like, "I don't know." Like, we can go wherever you want, and then they'd pick. So I'd take them to a nice restaurant, like a hotel, because I could get it comped because I bet so much. And then after the meal, I'd be like, well, let's have a drink. And then we'd have a drink at a bar. And then the drinks were free. So I'd just be like, we could just get wasted. And then I'd be like, well, I don't know, we're pretty drunk. I don't know if we should drive home, or we can get a cab, or we can just get a hotel room. And then, half the time they'd say, all right, we'll just get a hotel room. But then sometimes they'd be like, well, I should probably just go home. So then they'd go home, and then I'd just get fucking hammered because I'd be so mad that I wasn't getting laid. And then I knew I had a hotel room, and I'd just go up and pass out.
But you had such a game. I listened to your one podcast that you kind of explained your strategy and what you did. And, just to get girls would be so easy with the way you had it all set up. The story you told about the money, if you can count the money, it's yours.
Yeah, that's what I had to carry all this money, so I'd always keep $10,000 in my front pocket, which was always $100 bills. And then, so if I was anywhere and I'd pull it out, and of course Vegas was just full of shitty girls, not the highest quality of girls. Totally. And so I'd pull out this wad of money, and they would just look at it and be like, "Holy shit, how much money is that?" And I'd be like, "If you can guess within $100, I'll let you have it." And they don't, girls don't know how. If you're not around money, you don't really know how much money that is. So they'd be like, I don't know, $855 or something, and I'd hand it to them and just let them start counting it. And by the time they got to 3,000 or something, they'd just be, it was a wrap. They just fucking stared at me like, So they weren't the highest quality girls, but they were. It was just so easy to get laid, and plus I just had a confidence. When you carry that much money, it's just so weird. Everyone treats you different, so it was just so weird when the ball started rolling. I mean, I was just a regular kid from Wyoming. But to pull out that amount of money anywhere, you just get immediate respect like you've never had. So then you feel that no one tells you no. They're like, if this guy has this much money, he must be someone important. So, which I wasn't. I was just a regular dude, but I didn't.
Were you
I like to play it up.
Holding that much cash?
No, not really in the casino. When I first got the cash, I was just so happy to have the cash. I didn't even think about getting robbed, I always tell a story. I'd go to my house. Like when you go trick-or-treating when you're a kid, and then you bring your candy home, you dump it out in your room, and you put it in different order, and you play with it. When I first got the job, I would take the money home, like $100,000, and I'd shut the bedroom door, and I would fucking spell my name. I'd make styles of 500, and I would just play with this money and just lay in it and just. So in the beginning, I didn't really think about it, and then after about 6 months, then I realized, oh shit, someone could rob me. But I was so in the casinos, all the time, that there's all that security. And so I valeted. I knew the valets, so I'd throw them money. I'd park right up front. Because I was always in a hurry, too, because as a runner, there was other groups doing the same thing as me, so I had to beat them. So I would run down escalators and do shit. I was always just moving, so there was times when I could see people like, oh, we could rob this dude, but as they're making a plan, I was gone,
Explain to the audience what a runner is.
So my job, I worked for these rich dudes, and they worked in an office, but they were older dudes. So we had a team on the street of young dudes. So I had a Nextel pager, and then they would just beat me and say, "Hey, go here and bet this, or go bet against the Cardinals if you can anywhere because they're shitty," or like that. So, but then people always ask. So my bosses were older, and they were in the office betting online on the phones, like in Costa Rica and overseas on computers. Then have us out on the street. So my job was just to run around and bet. So I had to carry a lot of money and chips, and eventually I did get robbed at my house, though, and that was because my roommate set me up, and
that's fucking.
It was shitty.
Shit,
Yeah. I was sitting there. It was like 2 p.m, and I was about to leave, and I heard a knock on the door, and I was just like, "Come in," and the door opens, and there's a couch in front of the door. So there's this little Mexican comes in, just like neck tattoos and shit. But I didn't think anything of it,
It's Vegas.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in this business, you dealt with crazy people, and so he's like, "Hey, is Brandon here?" I go, "Yeah, he's in the back room." And he comes in, and he has a shotgun in a case. But it's like 2:00 in the day, and it's like a Tuesday. So I didn't think, I wasn't worried. And like in Wyoming, people have guns. I just didn't
they're hunting.
think it. Yeah.
For actual deer. And
so
stuff,
the dude goes into my roommate's bedroom, and he didn't shut the door all the way. And I was like, shit, I should get up and leave anyway, shut the door and get out of here. And so I'm thinking about it. I was like, let me just watch a little bit more of PTI, which was my favorite show at the time. I was like, let me wait for the commercial.
2020, it's like DVR, man.
So this is before DVR. So I'm about to leave, and before I can stand up to walk over, the little Mexican dude comes out with a shotgun, walks over. I'm sitting on the couch, puts it right in my face, like, "Give me all your money." I was like, I don't have any money. And he's like, "Okay." And he turns around and walks away. I'm like, holy shit, was that easy? But he turned around.
Did you think it was a joke, kind of?
No. People always ask me about it, but in the moment, you're in shock.
Yeah.
People are like, "I'd have done this, I'd have done that." I was like, "You wouldn't have done shit, first of all."
Yeah.
Because you didn't know what's happening. So he comes, puts a gun to my face, and I say, "I don't have any money." He's like, "Okay, cool." And then I say, "Okay, cool." He's like, "All right." And he turns around and he starts to walk away. And I was like, "Oh, I beat this." And then, but he walks back to the front door and he shuts it and locks it. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Bronx Tale, but it just fucking made my heart drop. And he turns back around and says, "Give me all your money." I'm like, yeah, whatever. I pull out the money I have in my pockets and everything, and I'm like, I can get more money. We can go to the bank, whatever. In my head, I'm like, just get out of the house and I can
survive.
do something. Yeah. And he's like, "Stand up," and so I turn around and I walk down the hallway. He puts a gun right to my back, makes me walk down the hallway and go in my roommate's room, and my roommate's in there like fake crying, like it's not even a good act. Yeah, like, "Oh, he robbed me too," whatever. It's so bullshit. So the dude's like, "Sit in this corner and don't move for like 10 minutes, and if you do call the cops or anything, I'll come back and kill you." And I say on stage, I was like, "Hey man, you robbed me. You can't put me in timeout. Like, like, come on, man." So he says, "Sit there, don't move." And so I sit there, and then he goes out, and then I see him get in his car and drive off. And I'm like, fuck this. And I get up, and I tell that dude, I'm like, "Fuck you, I'm out of here. I know you're a part of this." And I go outside, get in the car, and I call my boss. I'm like, "I just got robbed. What do we do?" He's like, "You got to call the cops." He's like, "I can't call the cops." He said, "Come back and kill me." He's like, "You got to call the cops." And I was like, all right. So I call the cops, and then the cops come, and then they catch him. Like, he went and robbed someone else right afterwards, and they catch him. And then the crazy part was then his family called me like 4 days later, and were like, "Hey, if you don't press charges, we'll give you $500. Our son's got a baby on the way," and all this shit. I was like, fuck that, because I think he took like $8,000 of my money.
Shit.
So the police had that, so I couldn't get that until. So I was like, no. So I had to go to trial, which was fucking awful. This is like the worst point in my life too. I was in between working the runner jobs. I wasn't even a runner at the time. That was just my money, and I was just depressed, and the apartment I lived in was shitty.
Your roommate was horrible.
My roommate was a horrible person. He was trying to rob me every day too. And
thought
then
I had bad roommates.
Wrapped up right there.
yeah,
Shit.
so it was awful, and I had to go to trial, and then I eventually got the money back. And ironically, my best friend to this day, his mom was my court reporter.
Oh,
so
really?
later in life, when I met his mom, she's like, I feel like I know you. And I was like, I don't know how. And then we start talking. She's like, oh, my God, I remember you. I felt so bad for you that day. Because at the time, I was like, no one came to court with me. And then his whole Mexican family came, and they were just mad dogging me. And I was sitting up there in the chair giving my story. And she's like, I just wanted to cry. I felt so bad for you. I was like, yeah, fuck it. We got through it, but...
Do you have flashbacks of that and just kind of freak yourself out?
No.
What could have happened?
I do, like, if I watch First 48 or something, and then I go, I watch people get killed for, like, $50, and I think, but, I don't really think about it, just because people will be like, dude, I would have fucking took the gun, then I was like, you wouldn't have done, I hate that advice.
I was at the mall quite a few years back, and I walked up to my car to get my car. People were robbing my car. I walked right up to someone breaking into my car, and I was like, it didn't register. I'm like, that's my car. There's people in it. Like, it was very slow motion. I'm not going to mess with him. I didn't want to walk up on that. So I'm thinking, where's mall security? He's on a fucking bicycle.
Of course,
like,
he's useless.
He's not going to do anything. So I start yelling at the people, and they go, oh, sorry, and, like, ran away. Like, oh, we're sorry. Like, this was so long ago, I think they stole my stereo face. Remember when they took the face off your radio and, like, put it in your backpack or whatever?
It's so funny that your reaction was like, oh shit, I'm not supposed to be at my own car.
Yeah,
Wait, no, this is my car. They're
shocked.
stealing my shit. Yeah.
It took a while to really register what was going on, and I'm just like, I don't want to mess with that. So I think that was actually the right thing.
Yeah, no, in hindsight, I'm glad. I mean, of course it all worked out, but it was just so, when it happens, when I think about it now, then I go, yeah, I could have died, I guess. But I never felt scared in the moment. I think I was just in shock.
Yeah.
And then I think when I got in the car and stuff, I think I might have kind of broke down and cried then. Like, I don't know if I ever cried on that. It hit me later. Like, I guess I could have died.
It's probably all shock.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have you ever been robbed?
No. I had stuff stolen out of my car once, but it was overnight. Like,
Not like
they did it in the
you
middle of the
didn't
night.
get
I
held
woke
up,
up the
not
next
stick
day.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, fuck, they took my
Maybe
stereo.
we should
and
go
stuff.
drive around to some worse neighborhoods or something. Have a little fun.
Well, that was when I was like 16, and I had the best CD collection in my car. And my parents woke me up the next morning. They're like, someone broke in your car last night and took your stuff. But they did it like well. They didn't smash the window or anything. They popped the door, like opened it, took the light out of the roof, the ceiling thing, and just left it on the seat, and then took out the CD player and took all my CDs, and then closed the door and took off.
Yeah, they're
Cleaned up after
professionals.
themselves.
Yeah.
But I was like, when my parents told me, and I looked at them like, you guys did this just to be an asshole and try to teach me something. Like, give me all my stuff back. They're like, we swear to God.
Oh, that sucks.
Then I had to roll with the tape deck for the next year or so. Just
The
putting all
worst.
every CD or something I get, I would copy it onto a tape.
I don't even remember how to
Play it that
work tapes. I mean, we all use it. I don't even remember how. Like,
That
you
was
play and record at the same time. You could record
Yeah.
a song from the radio.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Oh,
some
yeah, I
things
used
Who
to
was that joke?
try
Is it
all-
Sebastian? Where you get the song, he's like, you wait and wait and wait,
Yeah.
and then you hit the
Yeah.
record. Yeah, I got it. I fucking got it.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
what
I
we
did
used
that
to
a
do.
million times.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't want the intro. I was like, oh, I think the song's coming. It should be number one tonight.
I did that with a song, and it was like the biggest deal song when it came out. I'll remember it. You guys will remember it.
All right.
I'll think of it. So hungover. Sorry. I was so excited to have you
How
on
much
the show.
you drank
Just like,
today? Wait, where did you go last night?
Blue Martini.
Blue Martini.
After the show.
Yeah, we started at Raw, some sushi. It was terrible. And then we went to, Modern Margarita, some tequila place where I drank Moscow Mules, which was great. Then we went to your show. No. You didn't go last night.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
showed up late.
Oh, okay. I was
You
late.
didn't miss much.
Yeah, I was trying to control a big group of people. It
No,
was
I
just a
don't.
disaster.
You
But that
guys showed
place
up
was
like
nice.
as Brent went on stage. You missed
Yeah.
Grant and Andy.
It's all right. Moscow, I'm not as good as a Moscow Mule.
Yeah, just a twist of lime.
Yeah.
That place was really nice. I was impressed. So we drank there, and then we went to Blue Martini and drank there. And I saw Rob, who I know, and I know him, and I see him all the time, and I'm like, hey, Josh. I was such an asshole.
Oh, that's the
like, oh my
worst.
God, I'm so sorry. I know your name. Like, God damn it. I felt bad.
Rob the Heartthrob. I don't know who Rob is.
Yeah, you do. You met him a couple
Oh,
times.
that was with you last night?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
not
I know Rob.
Josh.
Yeah, he's not
He's
Josh.
definitely not Josh.
Yeah, I felt bad.
Yeah, he doesn't even
Such
look like a Josh.
Dickhead thing to do. Hey, Josh. All right.
I get into, like, do you do this too when you meet somebody? You don't listen to them when they say their name?
Yeah, a little. I need to do better at that. I've been forgetting names. I'm really good at remembering stuff, but names have been harder lately. Just because I think, well, I was drinking a lot for like the last year, and so then I would have these fun nights and I'd meet people, and then I remember hanging out, but I just don't remember their names, you know. Especially on the road, I meet a lot of people, so
Oh, shit.
How did you two meet?
Just through comedy?
just comedy,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Not in Phoenix.
No.
No.
Let's see. I want to talk. So the Super Bowl's here
Yes.
in Phoenix this year.
Oh, fun.
I can't wait.
And I got to ask you, dude, are you sneaking in?
No, I don't think I can. I tried to sneak in the last Super Bowl here, and it's the only thing I can't get into because there was just so much security.
Yeah.
And I ended up I wish I would have snuck in. I ended up drinking at the fuck is that place house? Yard House.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah,
it's
way
a
down.
shithole. That place sucks, man.
You think so? I like
hate
it.
Yard House. I've been kicked out of every one of them. And I got kicked out that day, and they were like, and I just running a tab. It was back when I was rich, so I was running a tab for like 9 people, and they were like, we got into it over something, and then they were like, fucking, they kicked me out. I was like, cool. They're like, you got to pay your tab. I was like, you kicked me out. Told me I can't come back in. They're like, we got to come back in and pay it. I was like, well, fuck you. I'm not coming back in. You kicked me out. Like you said, I can get a new credit card.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'll just cancel it. So I actually got off the hook for probably, with tip and everything, like $300 that day. But it was a miserable fucking. I wanted to go to the Super Bowl so bad.
How do you
Yeah.
sneak in? What's your strategy?
You know, usually it's like there's a smoking area. I don't smoke. If I smoked, it would be a lot easier. But there's usually a smoking area outside where people.
Yeah.
That's how I got in, and then I snuck in the national championship game at the stadium there in Glendale, and we did that through the smoking thing, and then I got 4 people in, and then I got caught, and I got kicked out, and I was so mad that my friends were in there and I wasn't, because I did pretty much all the work to get them in, and then so that time
You can't ask them to leave.
No, and I wouldn't expect them to either. Then they were like, they knew I'd get in eventually, but that time
I love it.
So I was walking around trying to come up with another plan, and then I made up my mind. I was like, I'm just going to fucking sprint at the gate as fast as I could. So I'm in flip-flops, and this is my plan, and I just start running as fast as I can to the front gate. And it's like old people, it's not old people. So when I get there, I just start panicking, and I'm like, I left my coat in there with my wallet and my cell phone. Everything's in there. I left my coat in there. So I just keep moving forward and talking like I'm panicked. Like, I got to get my stuff. I'll be right back. I swear to God. They're like, where's your ticket? I'm like, it's in my coat. Everything's in there. My whole life's in there. And, if you just keep moving forward, talking fast, and never let anyone actually stop you, just keep going. And then I'll be like, I'll be right back. I swear to God, I got to get my coat. And then so you kind of just prey on people being nice. And then and I made it. But so then I stuck in the national championship game this year, but I had a laminate, and this is what I'm going to start selling on stage is because my buddy was on the Norm Macdonald show, but it got canceled like 2 years ago. So I took his laminate that said Norm Macdonald Sports Show, and then I just used it to get in. But that day when I had a laminate, it's just like having money. People just think that if you have some dumb fucking laminated thing on your chest that you're important.
Yeah.
So
They don't even
I just
really
used
look.
it too much. So I went through this big ass gate, and then as this black couple was trying to sneak in, so the security
He's
guard,
not alone.
the security guard had them stopped, and then he tried to stop me too. And I put up my thing, and I was on my phone. I was pretending like I'm on my phone. I go, I'm in a hurry. I got to shoot this at halftime, and so he didn't know what to do, and I showed it to him, and then so he's trying to still stop them and stop me, and he's like, okay, go, and he goes back to them, and the black dude, so I get past him, and then the black dude just goes, that white boy just snuck right in this motherfucker. Or, he goes, that white boy just walked right in this motherfucker, and I could hear him say that, and I just had a smile on my face and disappeared right into the crowd. And
Yeah.
But so I used to sell like shirts and CDs. No one buys that shit. But what I'm working on now is just a laminate that I'll sell at my shows. It just
Dude,
says
so cheap.
all access VIP and everything on it, but then it'll have a little area where you can like write stuff. So you could just write the day's date, or you could write NBC, and then I'm going to sell them at my show and then encourage people to see how far they can get with them and then
Yes,
report
dude.
back, because no one wants
Share
a
the
CD or a
stories.
shirt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it'll work because, like I said, just that day, anytime I've ever wore a laminate, I could feel it. I felt more powerful.
You have a great story of sneaking in at the Rose Bowl, right?
Yeah. That was the one that I did.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've heard the story. So when you left, I think like Jeff and all your buddies had taken off or something because they couldn't get in. But the whole story was crazy, right? So you couldn't get in at first.
No, we couldn't get in. That was it. Yeah. Well, that was the one I was just talking about, and then I was like, and I had talked a bunch of shit on Facebook, like I'm getting in, and all my friends, and like, you know, I have some fans from my podcast. Everyone's like, do it. We're following. We're rooting for you. And then I couldn't get in because that's an outdoor one, so there's no like re-entry, and people can smoke just outside, so there's no real reason to come out the gate. And my buddy Jeff volunteered like 3 other people. So sneaking in's hard enough on your own, but not get a team of 5. And Jeff's like, he's my boy, but sometimes he writes checks we can't cash. Like, my friend Brand will sneak us in the Rose Bowl. Oh, it's national championship, only biggest game out here all year. And so I didn't think I was going to make it. And then I made it. And then luckily a comic was in there, and then they had a seat right. They're like, well, there's literally a seat open, so I got to sit with my friends and watch it.
How awesome is that?
But yeah, it was incredible. And I snuck into Broncos game, Packers game. The laminate helps. One time at a Broncos game in the height of Tebow Mania, the Patriots came to Denver, and I just went up to the gate, and I was like, I know where my seat is. My buddy has my ticket, but there's no phone reception in here. So I look like I'm calling him, and I was like, I can't get to him. Can you have someone walk me up there? I know he has my seat. And they're like, all right. And they walked me up. And at any point, I could have just disappeared because I'm in a big-ass crowd, you know? But I was like, fuck it. I figured if I walked up there, and my buddies know what I'm doing. So then I get up there, and then the dude's, I'm like, hey, you got my ticket? And he's like, oh, yeah. And he pulls out a ticket. And I didn't realize the guy had his zapper gun thing on him. So I was like, oh, shit. So then he starts zapping it to let me go in, but it's not really working. And I was like, hey, man, the game's about to start. It's about to be kickoff. Can we just go? And the guy's like, yeah, whatever. So,
nice.
If you're just nice to people, usually, you know, if you come up with a little plan.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, these people they make like $9 an hour or something. It's a shit job. Yeah. And if they have enough sense to know, if you tell someone important that they can't get in, you might lose your job. It's better to let, you know. So I always be like, this is really, you know. So you just kind of, I'm really good at talking people into shit. So you're just charming, nice, you know, and just go, hey, this is what happened. I'm good at being like, we're in a state of, you know, I create urgency when there isn't. Like, I got to go for whatever reason. The game's about to start or whatever. And then most of the time people are like, yeah, whatever.
Evil genius.
Yeah.
I love
it's
it.
worth it.
I have some good friends that do shit like that, and I love their stories. One of my friends stole Sparky, the mascot.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like,
the issue one?
Yeah, he's got it. And they all kind of take turns having it at their place still. You know, it was like 10 years
great.
ago. They're all adults.
That's a good
That is
steal.
awesome.
But they love it. And it's like a prize, and they're so proud of this thing. And they're just always like, you know, take a picture, send it to me. Like, just checking on it.
I love shit like that, but now that's like a felony.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is so expensive, but yeah,
Really?
I'm kind of going away from, but I love to steal shit.
They also taught me some good tips. I've never done this, but they said, like, I don't know, when you go to the airport and you have to like pay, like when you leave your car and it's like $200.
Yeah.
They go, just walk down there, punch the button, grab a new
And get it
ticket.
right before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, that's genius.
Yeah,
but I mean, I'd rather pay the $200. I don't know.
No, fuck that. I love to steal shit from bars. I don't like to steal from people, like hardworking people, but I love to steal shit from bars or like anywhere, or anytime it's something shitty. I used to be obsessed with those like neon lights, like the Bud Light ones or Coors Light ones, or if they had a team on them. And then I stole a bunch of them, and then I put them in my room. But then you can't fucking sleep. They're bright.
Yeah.
It's hot as shit.
And they break really easy.
You've done it?
Yeah.
You like to take things from bars when you were like a kid.
Yeah, when I was a kid,
21.
I would. I got pretty good at it.
Yeah. Well, it's not hard. My buddy, he taught me this one where if you go, so let's say there's a Phoenix Suns Coors Light one that you really want, and it's at a bar. So you go to the Coors Light distributing place, and then you just get a business card from one of them, right? Mm-hmm. Just say you're there for whatever. Then you call the bar and go, hey, I'm Keith from Coors Light. We're coming in. There's like there's a big banquet here or something, or there's a convention. That famous old sign you have, we're going to come by. We just want to put it up for the thing. We're going to bring you a new one. We're going to bring a couple cases of beer. And you fucking show up and they'll have it done, wrapped up, ready for you to take. You know what I mean? And then if they question you, give them a business card that just says Coors Light Keith or whatever.
Jesus,
and then when the thing never comes back, and they're calling Coors Light like, "Hey, Keith from
and this
here."
guy loses his job.
And they're like, "Who the fuck is Keith?" Or they'll be like, or Keith will be like, "I didn't do that," you know. And it's like, so if you can always
good.
outsmart people.
Yeah.
This is shit I used to do.
My husband's real good at this shit. When we go out, when we used to go out drinking, there's this one pizza place that's just the best, and it's 2 a.m. and the line's like wrapped around. You're just like, oh, I can't do this. He goes up to the counter and goes, I need my to-go order, my carry-out, and he just grabs some
so great
person's pizza, and all our friends are like, cool, you got a whole pizza, and we're just like,
then they just make them another one. It's no harm, no foul, as long as like. No one, I'd see some people are like, this you just fucked up or something. Like, it's not. It's the pizza. They just make a brand new pizza for them. These pizza places are killing money.
Can't wait in line for 40 minutes with drunk people. Well, I couldn't do it.
I hate that. I'll always try any scam to get out of the line.
Yeah, we don't.
I only wait in the line at the bank because I need money. Anywhere else, fuck you, I'm not. They say go to a club or something. The second I see a line, I'm like, I'm not going. If you can't get me right in, I hate to be like a diva or a douche, but when I was in Vegas, and I've done it, if you cross that line a couple times where you get to like hang out with celebrities or rich people and you see how they do a club, there's no turning back. My friends like go to a club, I'm like, we better have like a table and bottle service. Like, what kind of douche are you? I go, well, I agree, it's a douche that I said that. But once you've gone that lifestyle, there's no turning back.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm not going to walk around and fucking talk to a girl, then buy her a $17 drink. Then the second she goes to the bathroom, some other dude grabs her and takes her to a table. Like, the club is the biggest racket.
That happened last night at the comedy club.
Lines either.
This guy was with a girl, and he was like, I got to go to the bathroom. Walked into the bathroom outside, like the little lobby, and some black dude walked up, scooped up the girl, and they left.
Yeah, those are my dudes. Those black dudes are my dudes.
No shit.
They're crazy. You know what's funny is so then one of the girls last night was like, I'll be your wingman. What kind of girls you like? I was like, I like blonde girls or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'll be your wingman. What kind of dude you like? She's like, black dudes. I was like, oh, you don't need me. They're gonna come get you. You don't need a wingman. They're coming for you whether you like it or not. And she just laughed. I was like, said my black friends are so aggressive.
It's like a shock thing too. The black guys are like, let's go. Okay, you don't know what to do.
That's how. Well, my cousin is almost black, and that's his game. He just rolls all black dudes, but he'll just hey. That's his pickup line.
And it works.
It worked.
One's gonna grab on.
I shouldn't say this, but fuck it. He fucked a girl in the bathroom at the comedy club last night. I'm like, this is my job, bro. You can't be doing this.
Yeah, where else? What other job do you go to and your cousin comes to
Comes
visit
out,
you
he
at work?
thinks it's so funny. He's like, yo, I just fucked a girl in the bathroom right over there. I was like, dude, I still have a second show.
Like,
There's a line right there. I'm gonna get in trouble. Like, so sorry. I didn't have no House of Comedy. I didn't have no part of that. I didn't tell him he could do that. I am sorry. He'll never do it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
you're just the wingman.
Yeah, I was
That actual cousin, he left this morning. He's gone. He left the state, moved.
Yeah, he'll never be there
He
again.
have kids he has to come back to eventually. So.
Scared the shit out of me. I was like, Kato, what are you doing? I can't go to your job and just bang.
Yeah, right?
This is my job. A lot of times people forget, this is my job.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, everybody forgets that.
Yeah, they don't
Because for them, it's like they're an hour and a half, 2 hours out, having a good time laughing. And it's like, good, that's the point for you guys. But this is where we work.
That's a great story as long as it's not at my work. I'm like, hey, good for you. That's awesome.
I was at Burger King, fuck this chick in the bathroom. Cool, man, that's dope, man. Great story. As long as I don't work there, yeah.
This shit guys talk about, I just fucked this chick in the bathroom. Girls don't ever, I just got fucked in the bathroom. I've never heard a girl say
never
that.
heard a girl say that?
I've never heard a girl
He said this girl.
Say it.
He said this girl dragged him in there. Maybe he was just trying to get out of it. Because I was like, why the fuck you do that? He's like, she just made me. She took me in there. I was like,
I have heard of that, but I do never hear the girl tell the story.
No.
oh, you guys aren't hanging out with the regular.
Well, it doesn't mean they're not doing it. Maybe they're just not talking about it. I don't know that's really what girls want to be known for.
Some girls, I love, like, when I can have sex in public where there's, like, a little risk. A little danger is like a weird thing that gets me off. I've had too much, like, I got over regular. Vegas has ruined me as a person. But I love like being on a balcony and maybe someone's watching or maybe they aren't. Or I had sex in a couple bathrooms in Vegas and we got caught one time, which was weird. But I don't know. There's something about the adventure of it that I like.
Yeah.
Just not at my job though.
Yeah, don't do it at work.
Yeah.
Unless that is your job, and then good.
Yeah.
Then overtime.
Then you got a great job.
Dude, I just had sex with this girl in the bathroom. Did you film it? That's our job. What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
I've always wanted to have sex on stage, but then the more I think about it, I don't know why. That'd be uncomfortable and awful. And not with the crowd, but just
else.
that
Go to
too.
the main room at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
There's a public sex scene in a movie that I think is the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's not Crank, maybe Jason Statham or what's his name? Part 2 of the Crank. It's Crank, and he has to have sex in public to get his adrenaline up, or he dies. And it's just the funniest scene ever. And of course, they film it with like all these Asians are like gawking, like oh, and he's like having sex with Amy Smart or something, that blonde girl, right there on the street.
I don't know if I could do that.
Heart rate going.
I'd have anxiety.
I couldn't.
But she was like, oh, okay. You know, she's stupid.
I have trouble getting hard alone. I don't know. Like 50 people watching. Let's get an old things.
Dude, what's your craziest Vegas night?
The craziest one? Man. The craziest one is probably this night when, so I'm doing shows. I'm doing shows downtown at the Four Queens, and I go on stage, and the crowd's like kind of, it's not a very big crowd, and so I do a joke when I ask girls if penis size matters, and they all scream yes, and then I go whore, I call a girl whore or whatever, right? Which usually gets a huge laugh. So that night I go, I do it, and this girl screams yeah, and I go whore. And I pause, waiting for the huge laughs that it usually gets, and nobody laughs. And I'm like, what happened? And so the show ends, and it's like kind of bothering me. Or I come off stage, like, yo, you know who you just called a whore? I'm like, no, what happened? And they're like, that's Randy Couture down there with his girlfriend, the UFC fighter. And I'm like, oh, shit. And this is like at the height of when he's like the best fighter. So I'm like, oh, shit, that was probably bad, But then the show ends, and then we come out, and he's right there, but he's super nice. He's like, that was so funny, and everyone's kind of, there's like this moment where the crowd's like watching, and they want to get pictures with him, but then they see him, see me, they think he's gonna smash me or something. He's a super nice dude. It was like really complimentary. We take pictures and everything. This hot ass chick comes up and is like, hey, will you sign my tits? And I'd never signed tits before. So I was like, cool. And I signed this poor girl's tits with a regular ballpoint pen because we didn't have a marker. So it was like,
lesson learned.
Yeah.
Carry a
Well, I rarely get inside tits, so it was just the worst like autograph. So I'm like, this is cool,
Just
right?
keep licking the pen and licking the boob. I can't get it. I can't get it to right.
Yeah, so I should have done that. So we get in the car. I'm like, man, this is a cool ass night. And I was going to Sam Tripoli does a naughty show, and he was doing it at the sex club in called the Green Door in Vegas, which most people have never been to a sex club, but it's just a big ass club where people have sex and you can watch it and shit. So we're doing a comedy show there.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So there's like celebrities and porn stars and comedians and all kinds of crazy shit, right? So we're driving there. We almost get to where the Green Door is. We get pulled over by the cops, and my buddy Lance is driving, but he hasn't been drinking. I'm already getting a good buzz on. So the cops pull him out, and I'm like, hey, man, I got to go to this show at the Green Door. And I tell the cop, can I leave or whatever? And they're like, yeah, whatever. So I grab this mic stand. I'm running down the street to try to get to the show. My buddy Lance, the cops like breathalyze him, everything. He can't pass the DUI test, but he hasn't drank anything. To the point where the cop's like, you're just a fucking idiot. Like,
You're too stupid to be on the road.
So he goes. They're just like
a service
it's
dog or
blowing the cop's mind, he said, because he kept like blowing 0-0. But the cop be like, but you can't walk, you're an idiot, So he finally gets out of it. So I get to the sex club, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's packed. Crazy shit, right? And Sam does crazy all the time. So I go up like third, and it's me and Doug Benson's there. And Doug Benson's outside getting high, of course, with everyone. And I've worked with Doug Benson like a million times, and I never smoke weed. I've never smoked weed in my life. Yeah. But he's always like, hey, you want to smoke weed? And I'm like, nah, man. Doug, I don't smoke. He's like, all right, we'll go in there. And I'm like, all right. So I go inside, and so I go up, and I do the set. So there's a porn star that I'd known a little bit from Vegas, just like from MySpace and in a long where I know her, but I don't know her. But she's like, I'm coming to your show tonight. And I'm like, cool. So she's going to be on the show. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool, And so I do my set, and it goes all right, whatever. People are there to see sex. So then after me, it's like her and like two other porn stars and a guy in a bunny suit with like a super soaker full of cherry vodka.
Sure.
And like 2 bananas and whipped cream. So they put on an incredible show. People, my set, nothing matters. So my buddy Matt Markman's with me and his wife, and there's another lady. So in the swingers club, you can't you can't drink alcohol. So there's a bar next door called the Badland Saloon, which is just a flaming gay bar, ironically. So we're going in and out of the green door back to this gay bar drinking, right? So the show ends and everyone goes from the sex club over to the bar to drink. And it's cool, you know, and the porn star that was with me was growing out her bush for like a shoot or something, right? And I guess some dudes like really like that. So we're over there in the bar just hanging out, and these dudes keep coming up to her asking if they can take a picture with like her bush, you know? And she's like, yeah, whatever, if you buy us shots and put 4 songs in the jukebox, because she loved to play the jukebox for whatever reason, right? So these dudes keep bringing over shots
That's her favorite instrument.
putting money in putting money in the jukebox, and I'm trying to be a stupid drunk comedian. I'm playing like Bush songs and just dumb fucking jokes, right? And she keeps going and taking pictures with these dudes in the bathroom. One time she goes and takes a picture with this chick, and then the dude's boyfriend like freaks out. Just crazy shit keeps happening all night. So there's one like super fan that just keeps coming up to me and Doug Benson's like, you guys are so good. And Doug's like, cool, man, all right. You know, and he just keeps going. And you know Doug Benson, he's just a laid-back dude. Yeah. So eventually he tells this dude, hey, man, leave us the fuck alone. Don't come say another word to me. I've never seen Doug like this. The dude keeps going like 2 or 3 times to the point where Doug Benson just fucking finally runs and grabs this dude like by his back and throws him out the fucking saloon doors out into the street. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, right.
Literally pushes this guy out the fucking doors out into the street. And I'm like, holy shit.
That's Old West style too, saloon doors.
And it's Doug Benson. I'm like, what is he? And he's like, sorry, man, but this guy's a fucking... I was like, I get it, dude. And I was kind of worried. And it was lucky Doug kind of got fed up and he took off because I was like, this porn star might go with Doug. I mean, he's fucking famous and he's cool, you know? And so we keep hanging out. We're just drinking, getting wasted. And so then it ends up, it's like 5 in the morning, and it's me and the porn star and the dude in the bunny suit, a guy named Skippy Simon. He's a comedian. My Mormon friend is in town from Salt Lake City. Mormon married friend in town. And then there's 2 chicks from Oakland that were just fans that were at the show, right? So we're all wasted, and we come up with a plan. We're like, let's all go to the sex club and fuck, you know? And I was like, cool, because I knew I was going to get the porn star.
Okay.
And then the Oakland girls, I don't know what's worth a Mormon married dude or a guy in a bunny suit, but I was like, they could figure that out. I'm good, you know? So we close up our tab, and we walk over to the green door. It's like maybe 6 in the morning now, right? We get to the green door, try to open the door. It's locked. Like, what the fuck? It's locked. And they're like... there's a sign on the door. It says closed for cleaning. And we're all just like, oh my God, you're just cleaning up tears and blood and jizz and everything you can ever imagine. Because there's like golden shower room, every crazy room in there, right? So we're like, oh, fuck. So we go. So we're like, what should we do? Like, well, let's go back to the bar and drink. So we go to the bar and we start drinking more, right? And so the dude in the bunny suit, you know, everyone's down to fuck. So the dude in the bunny suit convinces the girl, let's fuck. There's like a stage in this gay bar with like a curtain. So he takes this girl up on stage and he's fucking this girl behind the curtain, which is hilarious because you just see parts of a bunny suit just fucking. You see like a bunny A leg and a bunny ear and shit. So we start laughing like, this is crazy. And the gay bartender comes around and he's just flaming and he sees what's going on and he freaks out like, you guys get the fuck out of my bar, you motherfuckers. And we're like, you know, I guess you can't fuck in a gay bar. I guess maybe only dudes in the bathroom. So he kicks us out, right? So we go out and it's that Vegas moment. You go outside and it's daylight. And you're like, oh, fuck, man. It's like 8 in the morning. The porn star's like, what do you want to do? You want to come to my house? And I'm like, cool, you know? So we get in a car and she lives like about 30 miles away. Or like 30 minutes away, so we get in a cab, and we both pass out. Next thing you know, we wake up in these big-ass gated community lot, like with guards and shit. I'm like, damn, this chick is balling. The guard, like, lets us in, and so we go to this house, and it's a big-ass house. I'm like, this girl's doing good. And we walk in her house and go to the master bedroom, big-ass bedroom. First 2 things I see when I come in, there's a big-ass stripper pole in the corner, like a stage and everything. Like, this is a big monster bedroom. And then right at the foot of her bed is this like 12-inch blue dildo. But it's not a regular dildo. It's a fucking Obama dildo. So the tip of the head is Obama's face. And then the shaft is like a suit. And I'm like, holy shit. And in life,
it was a gift from the president. Yeah. It was a gift.
And in life, I'm always like, I don't want to fuck. If a girl's fucked a black guy, I'm usually like, I'm out. But then I don't want to follow some black guy, more or less the most powerful man in the world. Like, I'm like, I can't compete with that. So we get in bed, and she we're naked, and she immediately like starts blowing me and just I come so fast. She's like the most incredible blowjob in the world. I pass out, right? We wake up like 5 hours later, like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. She's like, you want to get some breakfast? I'm like, cool. I'll take you to breakfast, whatever. She's like, all right, let me call it. She picks up the phone and starts ordering breakfast on the phone. I'm like, damn, this girl's got like a butler or something, right? So she orders this breakfast. I'm like, cool. We fall back asleep. Like half an hour later, there's a knock on the door. She's like, come in. Now I'm naked under the covers, and she's just in her panties and with her tits out and everything. And she's outside the covers, and this dude comes in with like a tray full of food. I'm like, this is incredible, right? So he sets the food down on the table by her bed, and then she turns and looks at me, and I could tell she's a little confused, and she turns and looks at him, and then she looks at me again, and then she's like, Dad? This is my friend.
Oh, what?
Friend, this is my dad. And I'm like, my whole body just like freezes up. She's totally forgot my name. She can't remember my name. And I'm like, and I don't know what to do. I can't get up and shake his hand or anything. I'm naked. My boner's ruined. And I just look at this dude and I nod, and he nods at me, and he sets the food down, and she's like, thanks. And he walks out. The second he shuts the door, I turn to her. I'm like, what the fuck, man? That's your dad? Is he going to like kill me or something? And she was like, I'll never forget. She's like, he won't say a word to you because he knows if he says one word, I'll fire his ass. And I was like,
she had him on the payroll.
Shit. And then I always say on stage, I go, how much is he getting paid? What kind of job is that you don't want it? That you got to deliver breakfast in bed to some random dude just fucked your daughter?
Yeah.
How do you what does that job pay that you don't want to get fired?
Wow, dude, he has daughter issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what's funny is then we woke up, and then I went and hung out with this dude. He was cool, and then I hung out with him for like 3 days, and we get wasted together. Super cool dude, but it was just that initial thing. So that was just like the perfect storm of all Vegas. It just was like craziest.
That
night.
is a crazy
Do
Vegas
you have a
night.
girlfriend now?
No.
When you decide to settle down, are you going to like just find the nicest, sweetest?
I had him.
most,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
normal
My last
church-going
girlfriend
girl?
I've always dated amazing women. Honestly, I wish I should have married one of them. I've had long relationships, and they're all amazing people that other dudes are lucky to have. But
Send them off.
my next, I dated a Mormon girl forever, which is the sweetest valedictorian, BYU, perfect girl. But I just like to fuck whores. But my girlfriends are always
Yeah, that's what I'm
amazing,
asking.
beautiful blonde
Since
girls.
you've experienced these crazy women and sex clubs.
Well, I will
and
say
shit.
that it's kind of ruined sex for me, because I had one girl that was she was just crazy, but she loved it like when I would smack her
In the face?
and I was
can't
like,
do that
and I
shit.
was like,
I'm not into that at
no.
all.
So I'd be like, she would be on top of me, and she'd just be like, hit me, daddy. I'm like, no, I can't. I was like, I love you, I can't hit you. And she's like, just do it. I was like, I can't. Then eventually she's like, just do it, you pussy. So I'd like give this like little fake tap, She's like, hit me like a man. And then I was like, then one night I was drunk or something, and then I actually did it, and she was
Beat the
like,
shit out of her?
she was like, no, slap me, and I slapped her, and it just drive her crazy. And I usually come really fast, so I have a hard time getting a girl off. But this like got her off, so my whole goal is always to get the girl off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, I don't like doing this. But then I saw how it would just make her like squirt and go crazy, and then I got into it. And then, because she liked it, I wasn't like, it took me a long time to be like, because I would literally be like, I love you. I'd never hit a girl in my life. I think that's like the worst thing you could do. But then she would just be like, just hit me, daddy. And I'd be like, oh, fuck. And I couldn't do it for a while. But then once I crossed that line, and then then I got addicted to it. So then my next girlfriend, I would tell her these. But then you tell girls these stories, and then girls feel like they have to
One up it?
Yeah. So then my last girlfriend, who I was more in love with than anyone, those stories got out somehow. And then at one point she's like, just do it. I want to try it. I'm like, no, I love you. I'd never do that.
That's
to you.
gotta
She's
give
like,
you like anxiety when
just
you go to have
do
sex.
it.
You're like,
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
I have to hit her and have sex.
But then I did it, and then she fucking loved it. So I probably ruined it.
She
for
loved
her.
it too?
Girls love it. I'm telling you, they love it.
All right, the next girl I'm with, I'm beating
No.
the
Well, you
fucking
got
shit
to
out
know
of her.
they have to, and you don't beat them. Like, I don't know, but
I'm
there's
gonna try
He's
it.
going to
you-
take it up a notch.
I'll let you know if it works.
You never heard them, but I don't know why. But then girls,
Man, try
the
this.
girls
Take a
that.
knife, just stab them in the stomach a bunch of times. They love it.
If
They love
anyone knows you listening, tell them that enjoys it. Just tell them that, because it comes off you when I tell a story. It comes off bad, but I'm telling you,
Yeah,
they
they ask
they
you to do
request it, and they love it. It makes them go crazy. So And then once you realize they love it, then I enjoy it. Because I just like to do whatever makes them happy.
I had a friend who had sex with a girl, and she was on her bachelorette party, and she wanted to be hit, so he hit her. And then, like, it's like, I hit her too hard. And now she's got, like, a black eye, and she's got to get married. Like, how do you fuck up the wedding
it was
pictures?
never
like,
punch. It was just like an open slap. And one time she'd be, like, backhand me. I used to wear this ring. And she liked that. I was like, I can't wear this ring. It was just a crazy thing. I can't. Like I said, I didn't sign up for this. I just because I didn't never want this. I was like, I didn't even like. I think spanking girls like lame. Like girls like
so
spank me. I'm like, why? It's lame. And now once you cross that line, and now, so now, like, and so sometimes I meet wonderful girls that I want to hook up with, but then I get. And then I just won't get hard. It's like, this is boring, you know? So then I start taking Viagra. But the worst thing you could do is take Viagra. So sometimes I think I'm going to fuck a girl, and then I'll pop a Viagra. And then shit doesn't work out. And then you just sit there fucking, or she'll fall asleep or something. And then your heart, I don't know if you ever taken Viagra, but your heart will just, your brain and your heart, and you'll just be sitting there with this hardest dick you've ever had. And you can't sleep for 4 hours, and you're just nudging her, hoping she wakes up. So you got to be careful with Viagra. But man, it works like so I'm jaded. Vegas has ruined me.
Don't get immune to it. Like, don't let, you got it. So when you actually need it.
No, I only take it on special occasions.
When you're really actually old and you need it, then it won't work for you. So maybe just, like, sparingly.
No, I only take it on special occasions. Honestly, I don't. But it's like, I only take it, like, and I haven't dated anyone for, like, 3 years, but if I date a girl and I really want it, if I think I like her, then I'll take it because I want to do good the first time. Because for some reason, like with my last 3 girlfriends, the very first time, I think maybe I was just nervous. I couldn't get hard, and that's such a shitty way to start, Because we were like, actually, this is a girl I really like, so there'd been dates and it built up for this night. And in my head, I have girls thinking like, oh, this is our special night. I'm finally going to give it to them. And then I just like laying there like, and then girls start crying like it's their fault. And I'm like, this has nothing to do with you. Because it's not, it's not. I hate that when girls are like, "What?" I'm like, "No, trust me. I'd much rather come than watch you cry. This has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with you." But girls are like, "It's me." No, I'm like, "No, I promise you. I'm trying so hard to get hard. Then I overthink it." And
you're pretty good at breaking it down, though.
Yeah. So sorry, ladies. If your guy doesn't get hard, it's not your fault. Or maybe,
but
it really isn't.
Encouraging words. Okay, I want to talk about your podcast. Are you still doing? I know he's nice. Breaking it down, really nice. Very positive.
I'm a sweetheart that likes to slap chicks.
Yeah.
Only by request.
Only by request.
He's a teddy bear. Then he's a grizzly bear.
Brant takes requests, so.
So you have a podcast.
Yes. I have a podcast called The 31, which I love and very proud of. It's the best thing I've ever created, where I ask, each week I ask my guests 25 of the same questions, and then 5 just unique for them, and then 1 fan question. So it's cool because you get the same, some of the questions are like, what you do on your 21st birthday, who do you owe an apology to, what's the weirdest thing your uncle's ever done?
Like AA.
Yeah. So, but it's a good way to get people to tell,
No, it's a perfect system.
Yeah.
I love it.
Because then
I like it.
I have a strategy I worked on it for a couple months, just grilling my friends, and I think they're kind of in an order where we get to around 12 or 13 and they really open up and you get to see. Because I'm sure, like, you guys have had shitty guests. Luckily, I'm, like, the greatest podcast guest ever. Because I just open up and tell all my stories. But a lot of times, people, you got to pry shit out of them. So it's kind of in an order.
When they want to be on it.
Yeah.
Beg and ask. And then go, oh.
So I'm very proud of it, and people really love it because I think people really open up and tell. There's a lot of comics with great comedy podcasts, but a lot of them are the same stories. You just get on there and go, what's your worst gig? Do you get tired of airports? Like, have you ever banged a chick on the road? Like, those stories, if they come out organically in mine, in the bathroom at your cousin's show and got him fired. But yeah, so if you like podcasts, check it out. The 31.
It's my favorite one.
Thank you.
Mine too.
Because you're right, it's so different too. And it is warmed up. It's like, I think your first question is, what's your full name?
Yeah.
And it's like totally where you from, that kind of stuff. And then you do get it. Because the questions that you ask too, like, what's the weirdest thing your uncle ever did? Like, who would ever just tell someone that, right? Yeah. But once you ask it, you're listening like, dude, what is it? What did they do? This is awesome.
Yeah, and so the original questions, then there's kind of become follow-up questions that, like, if I ask what city do you hate, a lot of times people go, I don't know. And then they'll go, I hate this city. Tucson. But then they'll go, and then they have a story why.
Yeah, they have a
They're
story
like, then
why.
they tell these story, some vulnerable story. I like it when people are very. My best guests are the ones that are very vulnerable and open up and tell. I've had people tell
This guy will
stories.
tell you anything.
Yeah, it's the way to do it.
I know. He's an
I don't
open
have
book.
anything.
I'm like thinking about my uncle. Like my uncle rode a unicycle, and because of that, I used to practice riding his unicycle when I was with my cousins. Now I can ride a unicycle.
Really?
Which is an awesome
I
talent.
haven't done it in so long, but I could ride a unicycle.
Which then I would say, when did you have you ever rode in a parade or anything?
No.
You've never used
no
it?
circus, nothing. I mean, it was a long
How
time
hard
ago.
was it to learn?
Really hard. And my cousins, we'd all be out there holding each other. And it was just, we got hurt on that thing all
See,
the time.
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
It was
is
fun, though.
I would have never guessed you were a unicycle rider.
I didn't even remember until you asked me about you didn't even ask me about my uncle.
Yeah, I try to be open just because I think it's easier. That's the one thing that I realized with that last girlfriend that and you never know when you start dating someone, but like the second date or something, she's like, have you ever had a hooker? And I, of course, said no because it was a second date and I want to impress this girl. You can't tell a girl that. But I didn't know I'd date her for 4 years. So then over time, I'd always had to keep that, and be like, I'd never want to be around my friends and be like, hey, don't talk about this or this or this. It's just a shitty way to live your life. I'd like to just try to be open and
But
go,
the
I'm not
past is the
perfect.
past.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah.
As long as you're not having,
Well, I just don't even want to hear about it. The past is the past. But there's like one
that's
girl I
why it's
dated.
the
I was like,
past.
yeah, the past is the past, but why did you have to be such a fucking whore in your past? That's a part of like my small hometown. I dated a girl, this really cool chick, but at one point I was sitting across from her at dinner. I was like, I could marry this girl, and then I start going through my groomsmen, like he fucked her, my best man fucked her. I was like, I can't have the whole crowd going, oh, that's cool. He married the girl that all these
Your
dudes
best
have
man
fucked.
speech
I mean,
is
yeah.
great, and they'd all
Yeah.
be just laughing. And,
She's hot, but it's yeah.
well,
So
Get 'em-
I
get 'em
need a
next time.
Scottsdale sugar mama. So if you're out
Dude.
there, ladies,
You're gonna find it tonight.
this comedy is
You're gonna find
until
it
I get
tonight.
rich.
But you have great guests on your podcast. I mean, like
Yeah, I've tried
some
to-
of the coolest people that you could want to hear their stories.
Yeah, I've been lucky with that, and I've been kind of picky about it as far as in my networks. Like, we got a guest for you, and I know they're just trying to help, but I want it, and that's what sucks is then because sometimes I'm not as consistent, and everyone gets mad at me. But I don't want to just throw on a shitty guest.
Yeah.
You're right. I could just throw up a guest whenever, but why? I want it to be people that are, you gotta have stories and shit.
Yeah.
I could do like, oh, my CD's coming out. Can I do it on yours? Like, well, maybe if you're cool, but
yeah.
if you're some lame, I just don't want it.
Totally. Well, who do you have coming up? Do you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm gonna ask Brant. A lot of just
He'll be a
guys.
great one.
Yeah, I'm friends with Brandon Flowers of the Killers, so we've been Brian Regan
that's
said he would
cool.
do it, and so there's a lot of I've tried to do a lot of comics because I think they're the most. Even though comics do the same, but they have the stories.
Yeah, there's stories on
even
how
when
they
I had
got
that porn
there.
star, she wouldn't really open up and talk about shit, and I know she has crazy stories.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so anyone that I find fascinating, that'll do it. As you guys know, it's hard to get people to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It is. It's hard to match schedules. It's hard to get everything.
yeah.
And we don't have travel equipment. I mean, if we had the stuff to move,
Yeah.
it might be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But like, because you don't do it in the same place. Every
No,
time,
I
do
have
you?
a studio that I use with Levity, but it's far from my house. And when I get to use it, it's beautiful and they're great. But a lot of times, I just tell the guest whatever's easiest for you.
Yeah.
Either come to my house or I'll just come to you wherever you are, a green room or your house, or it's better if they're comfortable too. So they
For
can.
sure.
I know. That's what I'd like to feel like. Sometimes our guests feel like this is really formal, but
Oh no, this
Yeah,
is
I know,
this is
right?
cool, laid back.
Yeah.
Just simple shit like water and.
yeah, you have to have water.
Yeah, it's just so
You
weird.
have
Like,
to.
trust me, I've done some podcasts from just like,
Water.
it's like a show. You're just like, let me just plow through this. I said I'd do it, but
Yeah, right?
no, this is, you guys got.
Yeah, my house is too loud. We couldn't do it at my house.
But it's fun. I think that's all we really got, man.
Yeah.
We good?
Yeah,
We're good. That was
good,
good.
dude.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
of course.
Plug
My
away
pleasure,
again, man. Where can people find
yeah,
you?
just
The whole nine.
Twitter at Brant Tobler, BrandTTOBLER. The podcast is on iTunes, Stitcher, all that, and it's just called The 31. My website's BrantTobler.com, and there's a 31podcast.com that has all the old episodes, and you can get all the old episodes on iTunes. I will be back in Phoenix October 25th, I think, in Goodyear, and then I'll be back headlining House of Comedy December 26th, 27th, and 28th.
Done, and I'll be opening for Brant.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, fine with me. I'll request you.
Fuck yeah, done.
And then and all my other stuff, I'm all over the country, but it's just all on my website. So
Cool,
if you
man.
see me somewhere, send me a message, and I will always try to give you free tickets because the clubs, I don't have a door deal. The clubs just pay me some shitty bullshit rate. So if you're a fan, I'd much rather give you free tickets than. And everyone's like, I want to support you. I appreciate you supporting me, but that money doesn't go anywhere near me. So
Yeah.
you take my free tickets and buy me a beer after, or if I'm selling a laminate or something, I'll always try to take care of
I'm
the
going to buy
fans.
that
So,
shit, dude. I think it's
Yeah.
genius.
Well, I hope so. We'll see.
All right.
Dude.
Thank
all
you
right.
guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
This has been another proud production of the 4-Eyed Radio Network. You want to see more shows, go check out www.4eyeradio.com, you winkers.